Hi, everybody. This is Adam Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are the Sun and Rising sign horoscopes for January of 2019. So we're going to take a look in this video at the Sun and Rising sign horoscope for Capricorn. So this month is really your month because it is all about the Capricorn transits. I mean, from the start of the month, basically all the way till the end, there's a lot of action happening in your home sign. So let's take a look. I'm going to be more concise than usual because there's just so many things happening, and basically I'm just going to keep it concise and just sort of draw them out with a marker. You can see on the very beginning of the month, Sun and Saturn conjoin in the first house. That's your home sign, Capricorn. Remember, Saturn entered your home sign about a year ago. So it's really, you've been moving into a time in your life where a lot of the times when our home planet comes into our first house for an extended period of time, it is a time of personal advancement where we're kind of holding our own or stepping into ourself at a little deeper level. Sometimes with Capricorn and Saturn, that has something to do with necessity. But where there's containment, pressure, work, responsibility, duty. But this is the kind of environment that Capricorn often thrives in. So anyway, keep that in mind. You're going to see a solar eclipse in your first house on January 5th. You're seeing Mercury enter Capricorn and then make a square with Mars in Aries in your fourth house. That'll happen but January 8th. Then it'll conjoin with Saturn between the 12th and the 13th. Around the 10th, 11th, the Sun will conjoin with Pluto and Capricorn in the first house. By the 21st, Mars and Aries will square Saturn in Capricorn in the first house. So you could say it's all about the first house in Capricorn this month. It's also your fourth house. So what is the first house, fourth house dynamic in general? It has to do with your health, your sense of individuality in the world, life. It's basic, like life direction 101 stuff, health, clarity of mind, sense of the character that you're playing on the stage of life. And are you into that character or not? Or do you like where your avatar is heading, so to speak? The fourth house is all about home, family, domestic areas of life. It's also traditionally about the mysteries, about things that lie in the underworld that are shrouded in mystery, about the past, the ancient past. So in a sense, there's a lot going on in this area right now. Some challenges, maybe personal challenges related to home and family this month. That's definitely something to keep your eye on, or in relation to home and property. Also, the idea of something very new and very personal to you. Some change is happening, very, very personal with the solar eclipse in your first house, signaling really not just now, but in the year ahead, because there's going to be eclipses rolling through Capricorn for the next year or so. Saturn is heading toward a conjunction with Pluto in your first house. Like, you're ready for some pretty deep level of change. Uranus is turning direct in Aries in the fourth house at the beginning of the month. Mars has just entered your fourth house. Looks like it has something to do with home and family, at least for now. But it's just a piece of a larger puzzle. Eclipse is also falling in your seventh house of relationships. The changes are going to be made cooperatively with partners if you're in a relationship, or may have something to do with meeting somebody. But again, the topic of living, where is home, these are all sort of vital questions for at least the month of January. So first house eclipses are also about, again, like health. Do I feel good with what I'm doing? With eclipses in the first house, sometimes our bodies are the things that are most, our bodies are most loudly sort of communicating to us what we need to do or where we should be going in life based on how we're feeling. So pay attention to your bodies right now. Don't neglect it because of just too much work or too much pressure or whatever. Meanwhile, Jupiter in the 12th house, making a square to Neptune in the third around the 13th. 12th house, third house stuff has a lot to do with communication dynamics, secrets, dreams, messages and messengers, learning and thinking. It's a good time to take a little mental vacation if you need to think about things, to really process, contemplate, and move into deeper, emotional and mental what do you say it like, sometimes it's like a computer. You give it a whole bunch of commands and then it just freezes up. Jupiter Neptune is about a really expansive, inspiring, and renewing energy coming through two places that, when you combine them, the 3rd and the 12th, are often about sort of mental stress. So it's sort of like you can really expand and grow a lot right now if you're able to get around to thinking about things that you've been meaning to just sit and think about or contemplate, or go inward and really feel what you're feeling. I think there's some real liberation and lift available right now if you take a little extra time for processing. You're doing a lot of learning right now, a lot of growing, a lot of questioning. It's okay to question. It's okay to have doubts. They help you triangulate in on the truth, as one of my spiritual teachers likes to say. And I think this is a month where, again, growth, renewal, and expansion of the mind is available if you're willing to kind of look deeply into your doubts, fears, worries, your own demons, sort of 12th house stuff. That's par for the course for the year, because Jupiter in your 12th house brings a lot of growth and expansion through that 12th house dynamic, through visitation of doubts and worries and anxieties, through contemplation of suffering, through service to others who are suffering, and so forth. So remember, the 12th house related to prisons, hospitals, people who are suffering, and so forth. So Jupiter, Neptune be very compassionate transit, where that your feeling or sense of connection to everything or everyone is very powerful. Meanwhile, as if that's not enough already, right? Then you have a lunar eclipse coming through your 8th house in Leo around the 21st of the month. That's powerful because this is the house of death and rebirth. So there is definitely a theme of potentially letting go, or of something reaching its expiration date around the eclipse. Of course, this is not totally new for you. You've been dealing with the 8th house for a while, with eclipses having fallen in your 8th house for over a year now. Also, things to do with your partner or spouse's income, money, or resources. One more sort of shift or change that's coming. But this is the grand finale of 8th house stuff. So the death and rebirth themes that are so commonly associated with the 8th, the theme of other people's money or resources. Something's coming to a head this month. It'll play out over the next few. And then things, again, are really shifting into your 1st and 7th. Big new life direction, probably to do with your own direction, and compromising with a spouse or partner in order to make the changes complete. Finally, on the 22nd of the month, Venus will have entered Sagittarius and will be conjoining with Jupiter there. And that's a really expansive transit. Venus-Jupiter in the 12th, be careful of like really bad decision-making, sort of reaching for something shiny that's really not good for you. But Venus-Jupiter also brings grace, learning, expansion, growth, benefits, especially sometimes through women or sort of the goddess, and brings them into a place of darkness or doubt, or of a place of suffering. So be treasures in the darkness this month is the real feeling that I'm getting from Capricorn Horoscope. So that's what I've got for you this month, Capricorn. I hope this was interesting. I hope you have a very beautiful month of January, and I look forward to seeing you again for an update in February. Take care. Bye.